Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Ryan's Falcons.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been. He's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First carry for the tailback, Devontae Freeman. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They go play action with Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. So they're operating in the red zone. Now it's Carson. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. And gives him a nice pickup. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now it's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Brooks Reed able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Pete Carroll's going to call out his field goal unit. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Wilhoit, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cliff Averill in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Play fake. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning. They run again with Carson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They run it with Carson. And some room to maneuver. A solid stiff arm. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. Way to stretch their lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards.
Look, it's real simple. Julio Jones is not a one-trick pony by any stretch, but his ability to go up in the air and take the ball away from everyone, forget 50-50s. When it's the moment of truth and someone has to come down with the football, I'm betting Julio Jones usually does.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Again, it'll be Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. To throw is Ryan. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Derek Coleman as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a play fake here on first down. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets past one man. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet. That's it for the... And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show is buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 75 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here we go on fourth down with Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Vic Beasley able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated.
And he's going to go down again. Brooks Reed in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was third and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. K.J. Wright in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught at the 25. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. And the big tight end shifting around. Here's Carson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. Oh, he slipped right by him. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Rawls. And, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back around the 37. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. 1st down, this is Rawls. And a solid run down inside the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Wilson going to give to Rawls. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call.